Ladies and gentlemen, it is very early in the morning for you, very late at night here. It's about half an hour to midnight here in Melbourne, and I don't know. I was bored. I was like, hey, I still have more stories I want to talk to you about today. So, including missing woman, we have that. I'm going to bring that to you. That's a very important story. I have more information from the NTSB in the Black Hawk and Bombardier crash that happened a couple of weeks ago. They did a press conference yesterday, Valentine's Day. What an interesting time to do that particular one. And what else do we have on the list here? We have a lot. We have a bunch of different ones I wanted to get to. No, we're not doing that. Oh yes, a woman in Mississippi arrested and jailed after she was convicted for doing an act with a dog. So I'm going to talk to you about that too. Hey, Savitha, how are you? I don't know who's going to show up. I think a lot of people will watch on the replay, maybe. Hey, Kelly, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. All right, let's get underway. I want to do something that's not as crazy to start off. Oh, also, the one out of the UK, Axel. He is the Southport killer, the one who broke into, well, sort of broke into that dance studio and murdered those three little girls there and injured many others and almost killed them. Well, he was sentenced yesterday, so that is something I will bring to you too. Actually, let's start off with that. Let's start off with that. Yeah, this one here. All right. So this one is very we did this one a few weeks ago. Hey, good to see you all. Hey Laura G. Hey sweetheart, how are you? It's good to see you, my friend. Lots of hugs to you. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Hey Catatonic, how are you? We spoke about this a few times, especially since it happened. But now we finally have a definitive answer to how long Axel is going to stay in jail after attacking all those children at that Taylor Swift dance day. It was sort of like a fun outing for little kids, make some pretty jewelry or something, play with new friends, learn some dance moves from Taylor Swift's music video. It was supposed to be like a fun little day for like all these little children, and unfortunately, Axel decided to make it all about him, and while at the same time take some of these children from the planet as well. And it says here he has now been jailed for 52 years. This is a huge sentence out of the UK. You don't normally see this out of the UK. Normally, it's like 18 years, 22 years, but 52 years in prison he will spend for what he did to those children. Now, I think he should never be released. My opinion is this guy too dangerous to be in society. If you're doing this type of stuff at 18, you should lose your right to be with the rest of us out here for the rest of your life. There is no way of repenting. There is no, fixing him. He is someone who is extremely dangerous and should never, ever see the light of day ever again. Um, they're saying here 52 years, and there has been widespread calls and criticism about the government with regards to this sentencing for not giving him a life order. Now, the reason they didn't was due to his age at the time. The court was hamstrung by legislation that's already in place in the UK, meaning they were unable to give him a whole life order. But they're saying here, due to the calls from the wider public, they are going to look into this, and they're going to try get the law changed. It won't help this particular case, but God forbid should it ever happen again, that person will hopefully get a different sentence. It says here, and I quote, it says, Lord Hermer said, the senseless and barbaric murder of three young girls in Southport last summer shocked our nation. No words come anywhere close to expressing the brutality and horror in this case. Yes, that is true. It was understandable that we received multiple requests to review the sentence under the unduly lenient sentence scheme. I think that would be a good idea. But they're saying here, which is designed to identify and remedy gross errors made by judges. After careful consideration of independent legal advice and consultation with leading criminal barristers and the CPS, which is the Crown Prosecution Service, I have concluded that this case cannot properly be referred to the Court of Appeal. No one would want the families to be put through unnecessary further court process when there is no realistic legal basis for an increased sentence. The 52-year sentence imposed by the judge was the second longest sentence imposed by the courts in English history. It's only the second time they've ever issued a court ruling that long. Now, that's because most people who commit these type of crimes are open to a life order. So that's why it's probably pretty rare that they have to do that type of sentencing. They're saying here that Alex will likely never be released and will spend the rest of his life in jail. Let's hope so. They say here the government have set out the next steps that now must take place to ensure that these awful murderers will be a line in the sand. My thoughts today are with the friends and families of Bibi, Elsie, and Alice, as well as the other victims. Your memories will not be forgotten. And they're saying here that there will be a review on allowing some young people who commit these type of heinous crimes to be very similar to the USA, to be sentenced as adults, even though the legal age doesn't allow them to have a life order. It will be basically overruled and allowing them to be charged and taken to court as an adult, even though at the time they were not. I think it needs to happen, and hopefully that will go through their legal process. I am confident that they will do the right thing here because the country and further afield are outraged. I think there's no way, anytime you give a possibility of parole, that family has to worry every night for the next 52 years that he will somehow get parole and get out again. That doesn't give them the peace of mind that they should have from a whole life order. It really doesn't. And hopefully they will fix this. Laura says he looks something like Clive Barker would feature in one of his horror movies. He does a bit. Hey, Kelly. I doubt he'll get out even if he fronts a parole board. Look, we have people like that in Australia too, that they got some sort of parole date, but every time they go for parole, the parole board just says, no, we don't think you're rehabilitated. We don't think that you meet the guidelines to be paroled. And there's a few people they have done that with. So I agree, he may not get out, but it's not about that. It's about giving a sentence who, the families can believe in it. They don't have to worry. They don't have to think this guy may somehow, on the 1% chance, get out someday. He's leaving in a body bag. I can't call for any, kind of prison retribution. I think they would come for my YouTube channel if I said that, but I can't say I disagree. I can't say I disagree with you. Kelly says UK sentences are far too lenient. The whole system needs to be looked at. I agree with you. Hey Carolina, how are you? What happened to our other Carolina? She just disappeared. Are you guys playing a joke on me? Is this really the same person? Are you trying to trick Ping? Is that what's going on here? I'm concerned because the other Carolina used to show up as well all the time. All right. I hope they do. These three girls should never have to, they should never have died. It's very similar to some other cases, like Evelyn Boswell. Like they said at the end of that trial, there's no good reason that Evelyn shouldn't be alive today. And it's the same in this particular case. These three girls should be living their best life as the biggest Taylor Swift fans in grade 7. They should be the biggest Taylor Swift fans on earth. And the fact that their families now have to spend the rest of their life without them because of this, I wish I had my swear button. I really did. I really do. Because I have many swear words for this guy. He is just an absolute scumbag. A scumbag. Like, that's what he is. To do this and then look like a like, what's wrong with this freaking photo out of your mugshot? Do you think you're hard or something? Like, this guy's gonna get his absolute face punched in as soon as he gets anywhere near general population. Like, I wanna see you make that face when they punch your face in prison. When they pour scalding water over you, when they throw crap into your jail cell, when they try and light you on fire in the kitchen. I want to see you make that face again, because the only person you have to blame about being in there is yourself. That's it. So you can have your spooky face all you want, but you make that face when someone beats your face in prison. Keep making that face, because apparently you think you're some sort of legend in this photo. Hopefully they never say your name again after today as well. Hopefully we never hear from him, because that's it takes the power away from the victims. The more we talk about that loser, the more we take away from the people who died. So now look at these beautiful little girls. They should have been doing the fun things that little girls do. What do they do? I don't know. Ping was a little boy, so I don't know. But whatever they do, have fun, see their friends, laugh about stuff. Who knows? But they should have been having their best life lived, not be in the ground 6 feet under. And that is a real tragedy. It really is. They're saying here, yeah, this is a bit that gets me. He had 3 separate referrals made to the government's anti-terror program Prevent about his behavior in years before the attack, as well as many calls to police about his behavior. But everyone just put it in the too hard basket, or he's too young, or he doesn't quite meet the threshold. Well, look what happened now. Because of all your stupid bureaucratic red tape and thresholds and boxes to tick, now you have a guy that killed a bunch of children. So you could have taken him off the street years ago. Years ago. You could have put him in a freaking mental ward if you wanted to. But no one cared enough. That's what it is. That's what it boils down to. No one gave a crap. That's what it was. Oh, he's not Islamic enough. Oh, he doesn't, want to help ISIS. I don't see any ISIS flags in his home. That's not on my checklist. We'll just let him go. We'll just pretend like he's not a problem, because that's basically what they did. All right, I'm going to take you to a news thing for it before Ping gets even more mad. Let's go here. 24 hours. Yeah. Wow, really? That's interesting. No ITV. BBC News. All right. We'll go to Sky News. Let's go to Sky News. It says 3 weeks ago. That's fine.
This is Sky News live from Liverpool, where today the Southport killer is... Three girls at a dance class in Southport. The families of his young victims await the judge's decision following the tragedy that shocked the nation last summer. We'll have full coverage from Liverpool throughout the day, and we will bring you the moment of sentencing from inside court live.
Also this morning, breaking news, the NHS begins its winter recovery. Flu cases in hospital fall for a second week. As
the winter recovery? No, we don't want that. We just want to know about
in California. 30,000 people ordered to leave their homes as flames threaten yet more destruction near Los Angeles. And a rare red warning for winds to be in place across all of Ireland and Northern Ireland ahead of storm.
Yeah, we're not going to watch that. It's a 10-hour live stream. I clicked the wrong link. You can blame Ping for being late at night. Anyway, you saw the headline. That's fine. Carolina says, agreed. There's no reason that whatsoever that anyone should take the life of an innocent, precious child. So beautiful little girls play with their baby dolls, love to play tea party with stuffed animals. They were about that age, like the tea party age, weren't they? They just look like they wanted to have some fun on their summer break and go to like a Taylor Swift thing. And, like the details about their death were horrific. One of the girls was stabbed like 80 times. The other one about 50. This guy just was a maniac. Like, you know, we hear the word like maniac and it gets applied to too many people that kill people. This guy was a true maniac. The fact you have the energy to stab these little girls in multiples of, you know, over 50 times each shows you the kind of attack it was, how frenzied it was. Really awful human being. I hope someone breaks his face in prison. I really do. Carolina says, "Good morning, everyone." Yes, good morning. Hey, Lynn D, how are you? Marilyn says, "I remember my granddaughter being that young. She'll be 11 in August." Well, happy birthday in August for your granddaughter. I'm happy that she has grown up to be a great young lady. Yeah, so I agree there does need to be a review, and if they have to bring in something where if it meets some sort of requirement like a multiple murder done by someone under the age of 18 but over the age of like 12, that they can be forwarded to the CPS for consideration to be charged as an adult. I think that would be a value add to the UK legal system, and it gives them another tool to charge someone like Axel. God forbid should it ever happen again. So I am hoping they do that, and let's hope we don't get another Axel ever again, because he is just an absolute waste of human, you know, parts. He's just an oxygen thief at this point. If they had the DP, he should have got it. That's right. That's right. That's right. We can celebrate together, Marilyn. We can celebrate together. We can have a joint birthday party. 41 and 11. That's what we could do. Hey, woodland creatures, how are you? Good to have you. All right, I want to take you. By the way, let's have a little break so we can all calm down for a second. I read this story today. You're not going to believe it when I tell it to you, okay? It is the weirdest story I've ever heard. It is not a crime story unless we can charge a sea creature with murder. I don't think we can do that. So I want to talk to you about this. It says here a tourist, she's Canadian, was attacked by a shark off a Caribbean beach, and she lost both her hands as the shark attacked her. But get this, it says here the 55-year-old Canadian woman had been wading in the shallows as she attempted to engage with the shark and take a picture of it. So the shark turned around and bit off both of her hands. Why on earth would you try and play with a shark? You know, they're those big things. They kind of go like this. They made a movie on it called Jaws. I think it's actually a documentary. It's, you know, it's very, very informative. But these things have like the big sharp teeth. They often attack people, especially if you try and hug them and take a photo with them. What kind of weirdo does that? Here she is here. What is she going to do if one of these people came up to her and said, "Point to us where the shark is"? She's not going to be able to do that because the shark ate her hands, because she wanted to play with it and take a photo with it. Let this be a lesson to everyone. Your lesson is on the screen right now. Don't try and play with wild animals. Don't try and take photos with them. And don't think there's some sort of like, you know, humanized animal where you can sort of, you know, be friends with it. A shark is an apex predator. It will eat you and have no qualms about taking your life. None. No F's given. It'll literally eat you, take your hands, and leave you to bleed out on a beach in the Caribbean. So I've never heard a story like this where someone actually tried to provoke the shark. I've never heard of something so stupid in my life. Here it is. You can't see it very well, but the shark is right here in the center of the screen. He's still hanging around. hoping someone else might try and play with him. Here, I'll show you a video. Here it is. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well because he's very tiny on the screen.
Yes.
Yes.
In the middle of the
Straight out. Straight out.
There he is.
Back and forth.
Right there.
I feel like we need to.
It's pretty hard to see. We can go back.
Yes.
Yes.
I wish the video was more enlarged.
Going
back and forth.
He's out in the ocean, flipping about.
I feel like we need to.
Yeah, that shark was not happy. Don't try and be friends with the shark. They don't want your photos. They don't want your Instagram. They don't care about your clout. They don't care. Shark cares about what it's going to eat, and apparently it ate this woman's hands. So it says here. Apparently, the shark hung around the area after the attack for around an hour. They say a man claiming to be a relative of the woman said she was able to walk back to shore after being bitten. She was also bitten in the thigh. He added, but she did not lose her leg. No, just both her hands. What did she try to do? Like shake the shark's mouth? Hey, nice to meet you, shark. Come over here. Take a photo. They said at the same time her husband desperately tried to fight off the shark. Why? Did he lose his hands too from fighting the shark? They said here, police and environmental officials confirmed the attack which occurred in the waters off Thompson's Cove Beach at around 10:30 a.m. on Friday, February 7. February 7? That was like a week ago. They said they advised the public to remain out of the ocean until the all clear was given. Nah, I think the shark's okay. Just don't try and touch it. I don't think he liked to be touched. Maybe he's on the spectrum and he doesn't like being touched or hugged, doesn't like loud noises. And this woman came over and tried to touch him and he just flipped out. He was like, no, don't do that. This is my space. Just stay out of the water. What do they say here? The woman reportedly had one of her hands amputated at the wrist and the other midway down her forearm, and is now said to be receiving medical care in Canada. Sure, I understand. I don't know what to tell you except for it sounds like she brought it on herself. You know, what do we have to do? Put big signs at the beach that say, please don't touch the sharks. Please don't head near them. They have very sharp teeth and are a little bitey. Like if someone did this to a bear, would we all be sitting here going, oh my God, what a poor woman. I can't believe the bear bit off her head. Oh my God, isn't that weird? Has anyone seen a bear do that before? That's so sad. Not really. Why would you try hug the bear? Why would you try take a photo with it? You're supposed to go in the other direction so the bear doesn't eat you. It always worries me how dumb people are sometimes. You know, why would you engage with the animal? I don't think it wants to do that. It's a wild animal. It doesn't understand Instagram. Yeah, they said the 55-year-old woman had been attempting to engage with the animal. I don't know what to do for you here, lady. You're now a story we tell other tourists about the sharks out there. We're like, hey, remember that lady from Canada? She tried to touch the shark and it ate both her hands. Don't be like that lady. Don't touch the sharks. They're going to run that. When people fly into the island of the Caribbean, they're going to play a video. And that story is going to be on there. Yeah, she wanted a picture. Yeah. Carolina says you aren't supposed to poke the bear. In this case, you shouldn't try and wave to a shark up close because it'll bite your hand off. That's right. Yeah, that shark was not very happy. It was looking for another handout. That's right. Laura G said just like the dingbats that get gored by trying to pet the bison at Yellowstone. Did you hear about the people who took the baby bison? They took the baby bison. It was walking along the side of the road and they decided to pick it up and put it in their vehicle because they felt sad for the bison. Anyway, they took it to a ranger hut and the ranger flipped out. The ranger's like, you're not supposed to touch them at all. Like, it doesn't matter if you saw one that only had 2 legs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you thought a giant eagle was going to come down and eat the bison. You're not supposed to touch them. Anyway, they tried to get the bison to go back to its mother, and it wouldn't re-engage with the mum, and the bison ended up dying because it couldn't be taken care of by the other, the adult bison. Yeah, it was very sad, very sad. Laura G says arm prosthetics are very advanced now, so that's a positive. She'll lead a very full life. And I'm sorry about the jokes, Laura. I'm sorry, my friend. I love you so much. I'm sorry. They're not supposed to be mean against people who didn't do anything wrong to get in the position that they're in. She just is a bit like, I can't believe we have to warn people about sharks and be like, did no one see that guy in Egypt get eaten by a tiger shark? Like, don't play with the animals. Like, they don't want to be humanized. Up close and personal. Yeah, that poor bison, though. I read that story last year. It was very, very sad. All because people couldn't help but intervene and think that humans, know everything. Apparently, the bison was fine. Apparently, this is what they do. They sort of wander away from the mum. They'll find the mum again. They'll wander away again. They don't need to be picked up by humans and put in the back of an SUV. That was very, very awful. They believe it was a bull shark. So a bull shark. It wasn't like a great white. It wasn't like a tiger shark. They reckon it was like a bull shark. And that guy who jumped into crocodile waters. I don't know that one. I know the guy that jumped into the ocean in the Caribbean. The one they believe got eaten by a shark. Do you guys remember that? They reckon now there's almost definitive proof that he was eaten by a shark. I was researching it a couple of weeks ago. They reckon that now they've broken down that video and there's definitely a shark in the water. What's his name? Robinson or something? Something like that. They reckon there's definitely an animal in the water with him. All right. So there's your weird update from the Caribbean. And this woman here who unfortunately got attacked, she's going to have a very challenging life, unfortunately, now. That's a good idea, Laura. Tell them that. I love you. I love you for doing that. It's so funny. Tell them every time. Say, you should do this. You should send them this article and say they got it wrong. He took my legs. It wasn't my hands. It's false news. It's fake news. He actually took my legs. That's me. That's me lying on the beach. That's what you should do. They'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That is so funny. All right. Actually, I want to show you that one. Actually, no. I'll show you that in a minute. Actually, no. Okay, we'll do it. Here, hold on. Let me see. I don't know if I can find it. Was it a bison? What kind of other animals are there? What? Aha, here it is. Here it is. I found it. Yes, here. All right. Oh, don't do that. All right, here, I'll show you that thing about the bison.
Next tonight here, the tragedy at Yellowstone National Park involving a baby bison after 2 tourists put the bison in their car thinking they were saving it from the cold. Here's ABC's Neil Karlinski.
Cute as it looks, this picture gone viral of a baby bison in the back of a Yellowstone National Park visitor's SUV is the latest evidence of people hurting the things they claim to love. Park rangers say visitors were worried about the little bison, so they took it to a field office. The result? The bison was rejected by its mother and tonight had to be euthanized.
We have a little saying here, give them room, use your Zoom.
It's a frustrating trend, people snapping bison selfies. This woman was caught by another visitor actually petting the new national mammal. Authorities went after these Boy Scout leaders after they shared videos showing them toppling a famous rock in Utah dating back to the Jurassic period. They said they feared it would fall. Yeah! And this week, actress Vanessa Hudgens paid a $1,000 fine for posting this on Instagram. Her name and a boyfriend's carved into Arizona's famous red rocks. Especially when it comes to wildlife, park officials tonight warning people yet again, keep your distance for your safety and the animals. David?
Yeah, the poor baby bison. Very sad that it had to be put down. Talking about animals, the next story is one of the craziest things I think I've ever heard of someone doing something for clout, doing something for internet fame, okay? But I warn you, this is your trigger warning, because this one is really messed up. Hopefully it'll load. Come on. Yeah, here we go. All right, here we go. I gave you the trigger warning. I'm just going to read it. They say a woman's sickening act with her dog leaves police in small town disgusted. They say a Mississippi woman was arrested and jailed after she was convicted for having intercourse with her dog. Denise Frazier, 21, was charged with unnatural intercourse and sentenced to 4 years in jail on January 24th after outrageous videos showed her in the sickening act. A judge also ordered her to serve 5 years of probation and pay a $2,615 fine. Frazier was arrested in Hattiesburg in 2024 with 1 count of attempted unnatural intercourse and 1 count of unnatural intercourse. They say 3 separate dogs appeared in multiple videos. According to WJTV, they were rescued and received veterinary care. They say also this sentencing is a step towards justice, but the fight isn't over. We are still pursuing her for full accountability in Jones County, where her abuse first came to light. They say Frazier was previously arrested in another Mississippi county in 2023 for the same offense at the age of 19. She was caught on a video that spread around on Snapchat depicting her engaging in unnatural intercourse with a male canine. And here's the girl here, and here's her with the dog. Her reasoning for doing this was, well, internet people paid me to do it. I don't think that's a good excuse for anything. Just because someone pays you to do something doesn't mean you should do it. Just like if someone came to you and said, hey, I've got this person I really don't like. I actually call her my ex-wife, but hey, here's a gun and $10,000. Can you please go and shoot her? Like, that's the same thing. It's called for hire. And here's her here. You can see without the makeup and all the blue hair. She just looks like any other woman. Doesn't look like, this dolled up version that you see here. False advertising, if you ask me. See here, she looks not too bad. And then you see her mugshot and you're like, geez, those filters really work on overtime. Okay. And they say here, a concerned resident flagged the video from February to local authorities, and she was eventually arrested on aggravated cruelty charges. According to the sheriff, they say, in my 17 years in law enforcement, this is one of the most disturbing cases that I've ever investigated. They say JCSD is in possession of several videos that are so graphic that we are not at liberty to release them or even discuss the particular content of them. The investigation into this case is far from over. They say here Frazier did admit that it was her engaging in intercourse with the animal on video. Carter says that Frazier's alibi was that she was forced into committing the heinous acts, but so far there is no evidence that that was, even something that happened. She allegedly told police that she was threatened to do it and that people pay her for the videos. Well, they're two very separate things. If you get paid for these videos, then that makes you basically as bad as someone who does CSAM, someone who does the thing with children. You are in the same category as that, as far as I'm concerned. You hurt an animal like that, I put you in the same category as people who film and hurt children in that way. You're just the same. The animal can't speak up. The animal can't deny. The animal can't say no, and you are doing it for your own reasons. You know, it is abuse, just like with children. So there she is again, another mugshot with Frasier. I can't believe she was dumb enough to say that she got paid for it. I don't know what's up here in her head, but it ain't brains. It is not brains. They said here, according to the sheriff, they say, we've never dealt with this particular type of case before. There are really no true words to describe it other than disgusting. So right now we are in that initial phase, right past the first part of it, but we're still going to look into it and see if there's more going on here. He says there may be more videos filmed in other counties. They have already alerted a nearby sheriff's department. The dogs were seized from the residence when she was arrested and taken. The dogs were taken to a local animal hospital. She referred to a German Shepherd that did appear in one of the videos as a service animal. So she'll appear in more court going on soon. We'll have more on her in the future. Hey, the cat lady, how are you? It is a little gross, yes. I'm sorry I had to bring that to you, but I thought it was important that we report it. Otherwise, if we don't report these things, people don't hear about it, and then she wins. She wins. She really does. The more we show her photo, the more we tell you what she did wrong, you know, the more that spreads around to people, and that'll follow her for the rest of her life. Yes, in Mississippi. So they believe more charges will come soon because they believe some of the other videos were filmed in other counties in Mississippi. So she may have more charges to do with this type of act in the future. So there is your other weird story for today. Poor animals, poor dogs, man. They want a nice lady dog, not a bitch. They want one of those too, but not that one, not the humankind. She's just the humankind of that word. All right. Yeah, so there you go. What a weirdo. She looks like a troll doll. In this image, all I get, she's very much giving troll doll. If they fluffed their hair up and made it all like frizzy, I'd be like, oh my god, that's an exact replica of a 1990s troll doll. That's exactly what she looks like. So yeah, what's her name? Frasier. Let's go here. Denise Frasier. She was 21 when she was caught, but they believe she's been doing this since she was around 18 years old. Let's go here. That's not funny, Toronto Sun. Toronto Sun, their article tagline says, woman 21 jailed for filming rough sex with canine companions. That is not funny. And on Valentine's Day, Toronto Sun, that was a very bad joke. That was not cool. It's funny, but in a really not a cool way. Oh, we have a perp walk of her. I want to see that. I want to see a perp walk. Hold on. I'll grab it for you. Yeah, let's go to the Sun. Hold on. What is this? No, that's something else. Do we have one? I think we had a. Yeah. Oh, we do. We have her on video, caught in 4K. Here she is, doing a perp walk. Go on, love. Go to court. Oh, now how does it feel to be under the camera? No, don't try and hide. Show your pretty face to everyone. Go on. We all want to see. Don't be hiding. I love how the sheriff kind of slow walked her too. Kind of like made them stop in the middle. I love that. He's like, here, take some more photos. Get some more video of her. Quick, come on. Look, they kind of stop here. Look. Look. He's like, let's just hold here for a second. Oh, what door do we go in? Oh, this one? Okay. I love it. Who filmed this? Tell me who filmed it. This is WDAM7, the Pine Belt's local news station here on YouTube. WDAM7 or WDAM7. So that's who filmed this. Thank you to them. I appreciate it. I love to see a perp walk. That is so funny. The crime she did is not funny, but her doing this is very hilarious. I love when they do these in America. It's like the greatest thing you guys do is perp walk people. It's great. Yeah, he did that. Hey, hello everyone. Is that our Mother of the Year? I don't know. We're gonna have to ask her later whether she is the Mother of the Year. I don't know. I don't think she's a Mother of the Year. This is not Megan Boswell. Although they do sort of look alike. They do sort of look like they could be related. But this is not Megan Boswell. This is a woman who has been charged with unnatural intercourse. That is what they charged her with, unnatural intercourse. So she had relations with a dog. Sabatha G said, "This world has some crazy people." It does, right? For real. What? Oh, okay. What do you mean doing all this crap? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. There's some dumb people out there. This should be like episode 2 of We Never Said It Was Smart to Be a Criminal. I might make that into an anthology series and do that like every once a month. I'll have a video about dumb criminals. Sabbath said, I was thinking the same. Megan had the same kind of clothes. She does sort of look like Megan. Although I think she's a little, what's the nice word to call it? She's a little less pudgy than Megan. Megan's a little bigger. No, she's not voluptuous. She's just bigger. This girl's quite thin. Megan's got a little bit of it's like she never lost the baby weight. That's the nicest way I can put it without all the women coming for me to murder me in the comments. That's the nicest way I can put it. Yeah, because Megan was quite thin when she was younger. She was quite thin, but after she had the baby, her body shape just changed. She just was a little bigger. Yeah, she especially at court. I noticed when she was in the courtroom this week, she was a little. Actually, what did I think? I can't remember what I thought, but she just looked different to some of the videos that came out when Evelyn first went missing. And that is true because it's been 4.5, 5 years. But yeah, she looked very different from the videos. But I mean, what was with the hair? Did anyone watch Megan's trial this week? What was with her hair? Do they not have shampoo in prison? Like her hair looks so greasy. It's like, does she even use the showers in the prison? Like, I've never seen a defendant's hair look so terrible. And I'm not being mean just because she's a woman or anything. Like, her hair looked awful. And I was like, does this woman, like, wash her hair ever? I'm like, even between trial days, she could have used the bathroom and the shower and, like, washed her hair. Like, it just looks so heavy. It looks so greasy. And I was like, oh, it explains a lot about Megan because I think that she's that type of person naturally. And we saw evidence of that in the trial, that she wasn't very good with her self-care. I mean, that foster parent said when Megan came to her in foster care, her hair was so messed up and had so many lice in it that no hairdresser would touch her hair. No hairdresser would cut her hair because she had so many lice in it. It had matted her hair up. Matted. And they said they had to like cut it off really short. And then that foster mom spent days combing her hair and getting all the crap out of her hair. So it wouldn't surprise me if she's kept the tradition going, even in jail. Unfortunately, she's just got a lot of problems. She's got a lot of mental problems, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about that. I don't want to talk about Megan today. We've done a lot of shows on her in the last 2 weeks. I sort of did this show tonight so we could catch up with some of the stories that we haven't talked about since the trial. Oh, okay. We might do that. What? It's a very animal-based show tonight. All right. I've got more for you. Serial. Okay. Wait, why are we doing this one? Okay. All right. Sorry, I've got like a whole bunch of stories that I had laid out for us, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Okay. What's his name? Woman network. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got like all these stories, and I want to make sure we're doing the right ones. So apparently there was a guy called Alan Watman. Alan Watman in Australia. It must be Australia. Here. I'm going to take you to 7 News. Yeah, content warning again. Just remember it's a true crime channel. I don't understand people who do that on true crime channels that are like, trigger warning. It's like, isn't everything on a true crime channel a trigger warning? Like that's all that true crime's about, is like the worst of the worst in society. All right, here we go.
A once trusted Victoria police officer exposed Alan Hawley's sickening sexual fantasies aired in court after he was arrested with almost 20,000 child abuse files, including 168 hours of video depicting girls as young as 2. A judge calling his offending shocking, grotesque and vile. Hawley kept the distressing photos and videos across 6 devices, including a Samsung phone hidden in his police locker. The father of 2 told one online friend, "I can't wait for my boys to have their own kids. Hope they have girls. I miss school drop-off and pick-up." And another, "We should go into business, open up a pedo childminding company." Today, Hawley wiped away tears as a court heard of how his wife caught him with images of young girls on his phone in 2019, years before he was arrested in 2023. Despite that, she still stands by him, even submitting a character reference to the court.
Hawley will enter the prison system not only as a self-confessed pedophile, but also a former cop. It's expected the once senior police officer will be placed in protective custody.
A judge will sentence him at a later date. Estelle Grapink, 7 News.
I don't understand these women. These women that write these character references for their scumbag husbands. This lady, you are literally smoking crack. Get away from him. Take your children and get the F away. What is wrong with you? Like, get your head checked. Oh, you caught him years earlier, didn't report him, and then a surprise when he got charged with being a freaking PDF file, and you write him a freaking character reference? Get the F out. Like, really, get the F out. Like, what is wrong with you? Take the rose-colored glasses off. You know? He's in jail. You ain't gonna see him again. He's probably gonna get his head bashed in jail because 1, he's a cop. 2, he hurts children. So they're gonna absolutely beat the living life out of him. What's wrong with these women? There was a lady in Arizona, the one where the husband left the kid in the hot car and the kid died. And she's all like, "I need my husband to come home. Please give him bail. We need to bury our child together." Why? What for? Like, why would you want him to go anywhere near you ever again? He just killed your child. What's wrong with you? Like, you're a doctor. You need your head checked. Like, for real, they need to put you in a psych ward. You writing freaking character references for these men. Like, I swear to God, it's some sort of shared mental health issue. Like with a bunch of these women, it's weird. Like, why are you standing by him? Are you in some sort of like DV coercion relationship? If so, we can help you, but get the F away from him. Like, why would you beg for him to come home? And this lady, I wrote him a character reference. Who cares? Go get away from him. Go live your own life. Let him rot in jail. He abused children. Like, where's your order of intelligence that you're like, my husband is up here, children he abused is somewhere down here? No, you've got them reversed. Your husband down here, children he abused, more important. Fucking crazy people. Sabbatha says, yeah, that guy had one job to take care of the kids. He couldn't do that playing video games while the baby was dying in the car. Yeah. And she wrote him this like big teary character reference. Like, what is wrong with you? Care of kids, yeah. Hold on, I want to play that. I want to find it. His name is Chris, I think. I can't remember. I think it is Chris. Christian or something? Hold on. Arizona dad. Oh, he entered Christopher Schultes. Or Schultes, or whatever his name is. He entered a not guilty plea. Oh, that guy. This guy. I know most of you remember it.
Turning now to the Marana father, now charged with first-degree murder and child abuse in the death of his 2-year-old little girl.
The father, police say, left his 2-year-old daughter in a car for hours. This happened last month. That child did not make it. Let's get over to Brianna Whitney. You've been following this. It's just a terrible story.
It's an awful story. It's
Yeah.
also fairly rare how this is all going down. So the man in court today didn't say anything other than acknowledging he understands the charges and he and his attorney are entering a not guilty plea. First-degree murder is rarely a charge we ever see in an accidental hot car death, but court documents reveal why a grand jury may have come to that decision.
I will enter pleas of not guilty.
37-year-old Christopher Schultes in court Thursday, pleading not guilty to the most severe charge someone can face in the death of his young daughter.
First-degree murder is really, really extreme.
Louis Fidel is a Tucson criminal defense attorney unaffiliated with the case, surprised by where the case stands now. Marana police originally charged Schultes with second-degree murder, but a grand jury came back with first-degree murder and child abuse after reviewing.
And so that jury should have. So they should have. Savas said it was so bizarre, the wife and the mum supporting it. I know, it was weird. Here, I've got an example of it here. They say an Arizona man charged with murder after allegedly he killed his 2-year-old by leaving her in a hot car during a heat wave for hours is an amazing father and a pillar of the community. According to his wife, that's what she said to a judge to try and get him bail. She's an anesthesiologist. Her name is Erica. She's 35. Called her daughter's death a big mistake. No. It's not a mistake. When you do something, and I tell Mrs. Ping this all the time, when you do something repetitively and you've been told and warned about it a lot, it's no longer a mistake. That is a built-in behavior that needs to be modified. It's no longer a mistake. It really isn't. A mistake is like a one-time thing and you screw something up. He had been doing this for years. He'd even been told about it. His wife had even told him to stop leaving the children in the car. And he couldn't do that. It's not a big mistake. He is a murderer. He murdered his child. There is no other word for it. He is a scumbag as well. He just deserves all the jail time in the world. Because not only had he been warned about it, he had seen the ill effects of it in the past when he'd left the kids in the car. But he got lucky where they were okay. You know, this is not friggin' Colorado or something where the temperature is, it's mild. It's freaking Arizona where it's hot as nuts every day. It's ridiculous. Here, she said, and she begged the judge, I'm asking if you can allow him to come home to us so that we can all start the grieving process so he can bury our daughter with us this upcoming week and that we can go through this whole process together as a family. I think you need your head checked. Like, why? Why would you write this letter? He killed your daughter. Like, you're showing by writing that letter that you care more about him than your own daughter who died. That's all you're representing, is that he is worth so much more than your daughter. You know, it's ridiculous, you know. Stop, like, bowing down to these men. Don't do that. They're not worth it. There's like we tell our other, like, when men tell other men, don't worry, there's a million fish in the sea. It's the same for women. Don't worry, there's a million other jerks you can sleep with and create babies with. It's fine. You can find another one. They're about 2 cents each. It's fine. They're not the ones that are hard to get. The ones that are hard to get are decent men. The ones like this guy, they're easy to find. You could find 5 of them at your local freaking Walmart. You don't need to go to the judge and say stuff like this. She insisted to the court that he is not a risk to the community. Yeah, he may not be a risk to the community, although he does like to drive drunk in the car. That is a risk to the community. He may not be that. He's just a risk to your other children. You absolute nutcase. They should take your medical license off you because obviously you're not right in the head. Are you laughing? Why? Don't laugh. It's very serious. A child died. What are you laughing? You're sick too. Do you need your head checked? I think so. A child died. It's not funny. You eat your ice cream. You shut up. Stop laughing. How dare you? It says here, a judge set a $25,000 secure bond. Thank the Lord. Refusing the state's request for a heftier $1 million bond. Well, the judge is dumb. In audio provided by KVOA TV, Erica is heard to be calmly requesting the judge let her. Oh, I gotta watch this. I want to hear her say it. I want to see how much of a cuck she is. Come on. Let's watch it. Where? Oh, yeah, it's right here. Let's watch her.
Christopher
Stop being a
is
cuck to your husbands, especially if they hurt your children.
facing second-degree murder and abuse charges, child abuse charges. Tonight, no bond was issued, and he was released from jail. His wife spoke to the judge. Take a listen.
I'm just asking if you can allow him to come home to us so we can all start the grieving process so that he can bury our daughter with us this upcoming week and that we can go through this whole process together as a family. This was a big mistake, and I think that this doesn't represent him. And I just want the girls to see their father so that I don't have to tell them tonight that they're going to endure another loss.
Now, the judge did rule that he cannot have any unsupervised contact with minors.
And the 2-year-old girl died Tuesday, if you remember, after being left inside that.
Yeah, she's nuts. She's nuts. Like, who writes that? I don't want to tell my kids that their daddy's not coming home. Tell your kids the truth. Daddy's a murderer. Tell them. Tell them daddy killed your little sister. What are you hiding from them? Like, I don't get it. It's bizarre. Oh, I want him to come home. I don't know why you want him to come home. Just leave him in the jail. Sabbath has said he caused her death. Make it make sense. Exactly. I don't understand. A big mistake. That's what you tell a kid when they drop like a glass and you're like, whoa, you naughty little kid. You broke a glass. It's a big mistake. We don't do that here. Not when you leave a child in a hot car and let them die. That is reckless neglect. And it proves what kind of father this guy is. A shit one. Yeah, mental. She definitely is. Someone take her medical license. Someone freaking get her a review under some sort of medical review. She needs it. I mean, she may have been in shock or whatever. I'm sure people are going to come for me and be like, she was in shock, Ping. No. She knew about this for freaking months. She had warned him in text messages. There's only so much leeway you can give people, right? So many excuses. It's like, I'm not going to give her that. So it sounds like she along with him. And look, what a beautiful family. If we didn't know the story, you'd be all going, What a lovely little family. Three kids and a mum and dad. But it seems like both of them put their children as second. Both of them. I don't even think like the mum puts her children first here. I think the children are an accessory to their lifestyle. That's the way they kind of it's come across in the court case, that the children were just sort of like an afterthought. You know, it's not. Yeah, what a beautiful little girl. There she is. Her name was Parker. That's a nice name for a girl. I like that. And what a pretty little girl. They said here, the mum performed CPR on Parker until first responders arrived. The child was later pronounced dead at hospital. Christopher told cops he arrived home with his daughter asleep in the car seat, not wanting to wake her up. He said he left her in the running car with the air conditioning on and went inside. Yeah, except he knew full well that that car turned off the engine and the air conditioning automatically after about 20 minutes. Like, he knew the car had that feature. I don't buy that he just went, oh, the car's going to stay on for like 25 hours. No, I don't believe it. They say Christopher originally told cops he drove home with his daughter at 2 p.m., but video footage from a neighbor says he arrived home at 12:53 p.m., meaning she was in there even longer than what he says she was. Temperatures hit a record-setting 111 degrees in Marana that day, meaning it would have only taken roughly 20 minutes for a car to heat up to 140 degrees and just 40 minutes to reach 150 degrees. That poor little girl baked to death. Like, literally, the same as putting her in an oven. The same as putting her in an oven, that poor little girl. They say here, the Marana police captain told reporters that Parker's death was still being investigated. He's now pled not guilty, because I don't know why he pled not guilty. What a weirdo. Anyway, I don't have any more updates for you except for that. I don't know how we got onto that, but that case makes me so mad because both of the parents seem so irresponsible. It could be. It could be. I mean, he seems to be the bigger problem, but I mean, what did she do about it? She knew of this action and behavior that he did, even warned him in text messages. At what point do we not ask where her responsibility to her own children was? Right? Like, when do we say, "Hey, what the hell did you ever do about it?" You knew he wasn't trustworthy with your children. At what stage did you take some time out and be like, maybe I shouldn't leave him alone with the kids? You know, I've told him before not to leave him in a hot car. He hasn't listened to me. I am an equal in this relationship. They're my kids too. And instead, you continued to leave them with him. You went to work and only dealt with it when you got home and went, oh my God, she's still in the car. Let's call the ambulance. She's dead by then. You only get one shot at life, right? That includes your children's lives. So take it seriously. Catatonic says BS. It is BS. I agree. All right. What else do we have that Ping can be angry about? Let's see. Ping likes to be angry in the morning. I hope I've made you angry this morning. No, I don't hope I do that, but Ping gets carried away with his anger. Don't like when people hurt children. It drives me crazy. Oh, right. We're going to Colorado. That's right. Actually, we've got that one. That one. And we've got a missing girl. Missing girl. All right, hold on. I got to grab it out of my messages. What's her name again? Avni. No. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got to grab the name. This is from Leisha, my friend Leisha. Has notified agencies. Megan Trussell. Megan Trussell. I want to show you this. She is missing. They are looking for her, and they'd like to get her home. There is now a $10,000 reward for any information that can lead anyone to Megan's whereabouts. All right, hold on. Yeah, that'll do.
Right now, police in Boulder are using every available resource searching for a missing CU student. We first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday at 4. Megan Trussell was last seen Sunday night.
9 News reporter Steve Steger continues our coverage tonight live in Boulder. You're back there again today, Steve, and you're talking about searches on 2 separate flanks now.
Yeah, Tom, Boulder search and rescue crews right now are just up the road in Boulder Canyon. Here in town, you will see flyers like this all over the place because there is a small army of other searchers, friends of Megan Trussell's family, who are going around town trying to retrace her steps on that Sunday night she disappeared.
Well, you lose a lot of really valuable information about the last known location of this young lady.
In Boulder Canyon, a single sheriff's vehicle is flanked by civilian cars in the parking lot near the Elephant Buttresses, as a team of mountain search and rescuers scour the hillsides looking for 18-year-old Megan Trussell, last seen near Hallett Hall on the CU campus on Sunday around 9 p.m. Trussell, a freshman and recent grad of Northfield High School, wasn't reported missing until Wednesday when her parents realized she wasn't responding to their messages. They checked her T-Mobile account and realized she hadn't used her phone at all since 8:45 Sunday night. Since Wednesday, the CUPD reached out to the FBI, a tactic that didn't surprise former Douglas County Sheriff Tony Spurlock.
I think a lot of agencies notify the FBI because they have a lot of resources and they can do a lot of stuff with phones. If her phone's still pinging, and it was pinging off the tower, that's very valuable information for law enforcement because you can triangulate that and you can get a lot of information about when it was last moving.
Megan's parents tell me that's part of the reason these teams are focused up here in the canyon.
We haven't quite hit any homes or anything that way.
While another.
So yes, the FBI has a team called the CAST team, C-A-S-T, and they do a lot of work with cellular data or cellular phones or cell towers, and they have a process they work through to get this type of information from the towers. They can do a variety of things. It depends what carrier she was on. Each carrier actually has a different format or protocol that they use between the phone and the tower to track certain things. And depending on which carrier she's on is depending on which format they use and like what information can be gleaned, including one, you can use triangulation if you have enough towers to do that. If you don't, it makes it a little harder, especially if the towers are further away. If they're close together, it makes it a lot easier to track down the last known location. They can do other things like they can see headers and different bits of information that have been transmitted through the tower. It just depends. It depends on a few different things. So hopefully CAST is. I love them. They are great. They're a great team. They do a lot of work that I'm trained in too. So a lot of the things that they do, I'm certified in. So I can understand a lot of what they do. And yeah, I love what they do. I've ran you through some of the protocols on this channel before and some of the work and how they do it, but it's really involved. I think people just think they make a phone call and then they just get all this information like distance from the tower and this and that. It doesn't work like that. They might be able to get a last ping location, but not always. It's not always that easy. Sometimes they actually have to do the mapping themselves with the data, and they have to request that. They have to send it off to like Verizon or whoever. They have to pay monthly fees for however many towers they want. It costs money. It's quite expensive. And it's a lot of work. They have to load it into the graphics map. They have to load the towers and do the this and that and the triangulation. They use quadrant systems to look around. It's a lot of work. It's not as easy. I think some people just think they load it into a program and half an hour later they've got a result. It's days and days of work. And they are very impressive. The team, FBI CAST team, are very, very impressive people. They do it very efficiently. They work hard and they provide a lot of information to missing people, murder cases, at trial. They do a lot. If you have never heard of them before, you may have seen them in the Lori Vallow trial. In Lori Vallow's trial, they were actually there talking about some of the information they got from Chad's phone, Laurie's phone, and I think Alex's phone too. And they were showing you where they were at certain times when certain conversations were taking place. And I think they also had a map showing where certain people were when the children were last seen. So, yeah, they did a great job, especially at the Velo trial.
Other team focuses a couple miles away.
So, excuse me, Folsom Drive was the area that she was last seen.
Dozens of people who dropped what they're doing to help Megan's family, organizing a makeshift command center in the parking lot of the Boulder Library and sending family friends like David Lamb out to knock on doors.
This neighborhood specifically is where we think it's most likely that she would have been caught on a Ring camera or a security camera. There's a lot of love for that family. There's a lot of love for those girls, both those daughters, and we just want to get Megan home safe.
While the search is frantic, the one thing not hard to find is optimism.
You're welcome. We're going to find her. We are. And
So Megan Trussell would be very hard to miss. Want to give you a look at a little bigger version of those photos. She has red hair. She's wearing a very distinctive purse on Sunday night. It has a pink strap with a big pink star on it. If you have any information, if you have video from your cameras that night on Sunday night, the night Megan disappeared, they are asking you to contact CU Police with that information as quickly as possible. They're looking for any shreds of that final night just to try to figure out what was going on that night before she disappeared to try to retrace her steps. We're live in Boulder. Steve Stager, 9 News.
So Megan Trussell, if you've seen her, there is a reward on offer from a family friend, $10,000 right now. It's really important that they find this girl. Temperatures out there pretty cold, a lot of snow on the ground. Not a good place for someone to be missing multiple days at a time. Now, if I can get her name on here, Megan. I can show you some of the photos if I can. University of Boulder. Yep. Denver 7. Accept. So they say CBI issues statewide alert for missing CU Boulder student. They say the FBI is involved in the search for Megan, who was last seen in the residence hall on February 9th. It's a long time, right? Here's that photo of her. I wonder if I can blow that up. This is her last known photo. And it's interesting. So she's pretty recognizable. She has like the pink hair, which is pretty cool. I saw another photo with her with blue hair. She's got that cool hair. And she's wearing like some pretty good shoes, good for walking outside. Like she's not wearing like flip-flops or Ugg boots or something like that. They look like a decent pair of sports shoes. And she looks pretty dressed somewhat for the weather. She's got some bell-bottom pants, which are very cool right now. And she's wearing quite a thick jacket because she's not a very large girl. She's pretty thin, so she's got a big jacket on, and she's got that very identifiable, very raver, very kawaii, blue and pink handbag with a pink star on it. So I hope they can find this poor girl. And what are they saying here? There's it. Missing Indigenous person alert. They say the University of Colorado Boulder Police Department at 303-492 quadruple 6. So if you have any information, please call that number. They said she was last seen on Sunday, February 9th, 2025 at approximately 10 p.m., quite late, on the University of Colorado Boulder campus. She was last seen wearing a dark jacket/shirt, reddish pants, white tennis shoes, and carrying a distinct blue purse with a pink star as seen in the photo I just showed you. Around noon on Friday, CU Boulder Police said in an update, it is working with local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies and first responders on campus, on the ground, and in the air. In a second update at 8:20 p.m. Friday, the department said it will continue to follow up on leads and search for Trussell throughout the weekend. The University Police Department has received criticism for notifying the public of Trussell's disappearance 4 days after she was last seen. That is a long period of time. CU Boulder Police said it released information as soon as Megan's missing status was confirmed, and it was determined releasing such information would be helpful in the search for her. Well, I think when a young person goes missing like this, as soon as you can get it to the public, the better. People's memories fade, especially if they're not trying to keep an eye out for someone. If the sooner you ask them about something, the better, the more information you're going to get. 4 days is quite a long time. Like if you asked me 4 days ago if I was walking around my town and did I see a girl with blue hair, I might be like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'm not sure. But if you asked me on the day, maybe I would remember. I'd be like, oh, hey, I saw her downtown. Yeah, I remember seeing her. She was walking up Fifth Street. It's different. You got to get that information to the public as soon as possible. They're saying the department received the missing person report for her on February 12th. Well, that was still a number of days ago, about 4 or 5 days ago. So yeah, I hope we can get to her and find her. Let's see if this plays. It may not. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Following a developing story at this hour, a University of Colorado Boulder student is missing, and the FBI is now helping local and statewide agencies in the search for her. Around noon on Thursday, CU Boulder posted on social media that its police department was trying to locate Megan Trussell, a student at the school. The FBI also posted online that it is assisting in the search for her. You can see pictures of her on your screen right now. She was last seen on February 9th in her residence hall and was wearing a blue or gray jacket, dark colored pants, and a white platform sneakers. Anybody with information is asked to contact CUPD immediately.
There you go. That's a cool photo of the Batman shirt with the ripped pants, and there's that bag, that pink bag with the star on it. And there's her with the cool hair. Looks like she dyes her hair quite frequently. It's pretty cool. Sabbatha said the parents were strict with online access, but she still found a way to communicate with this guy. They made a law after Evelyn's death. They did. They did. They made the law. It's called Evelyn's Law. It's meant to stop, or not stop, but hinder people reporting children so late like Megan did, 2 months late. There is now a consequence to that specific action if a parent was to do that, including, I think it's up to a year in jail. Up to a year in jail if you do that now. And that doesn't mean your child has to be found dead. It just means that you didn't report them in a timely fashion. So if you do that, even if your child is found safe, but you didn't report it in time, they can now take you to court and throw you in jail for being irresponsible, like Megan Boswell was. She is a master manipulator, that girl. Master manipulator. But I do have one question. I posted this online last night, and I got a real negative response from it. But I am very interested in it because I struggle to know what it is about, and I don't have any other records on it. So I'll ask you guys. Maybe you know. The lady who was her foster carer for 4 months said that her intake file. So when people are in foster care, I was in the system too. So I had an intake file as well. It's normally given to people who are going to take care of you. It has sort of like your needs on it. It has like things they know about you, or like behaviors and things like that. Or like maybe things that have gone wrong for you, so they know not to do that. It said on her file that she had been the victim of R-word, and that she came to that lady heavily pregnant. Was her baby the victim? Like, was her baby the from R-word? I wonder, but I don't know. And we see how much Megan lies about certain things. It's hard. I don't want to like second guess someone saying that they were R-worded. But did we ever find out if that was ever prosecuted? She would have been a child at the time, so it may not be publicly available. But at the same time, I don't like second guessing someone when they say that. But Megan lies so much, it's so hard to tell what's the truth and what's real and what is for attention and what isn't. Yeah, that's all I mean. I don't mean like we shouldn't believe women who report that they've been R-worded. I just mean with her specifically, it's very hard to tell. It's very hard to tell what's the truth. No, they never did. No, never heard anything. Some people said that there was a male's name mentioned in the DNA testing, and people were like, "Oh my God, that's the father," but I don't think that was ever cleared up or not. Yeah, never said who the baby's father was or what those details in that trauma report were, but it sort of lines up. I don't know if it happened when she was really young or it happened right before she went into foster care. But it's interesting because we don't know who the father of Evelyn was. Was she trying to cover up who the father was to protect someone? Like, that's what Mrs. Pink said. Mrs. Pink's like, maybe she's trying to protect someone that's in her family circle that was preying on her. That would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Or it never happened, right? That's what I mean. I wasn't trying to be insulting to people who have been R-worded. It's just Megan lies about everything. Hold on. Sorry, my cats are being down there. She protect you. You don't believe. So what do you believe that was, Betty C? Let me know what you think. I'm interested in hearing everyone's opinion because I don't know. I've read all the court filings. I went through every minute of that trial. I have them all on my computer, all days, all of them, judgments, everything. I have them all on my computer. I've watched all of them end to end several times, and I can't figure it out. Carolina says all the cases you have shared with us this morning are also sad and heartbreaking. I appreciate it. I know. I'm sorry they're all heartbreaking. We try and do happy stories every now and then. We do. I promise. We try and do ones where people are found. There's people who get their name back. There's people who get identified after not being like, their name hasn't been known for like 40 years. I just don't have any right now. I normally do. We normally do a lot of good feel good stories. But you are welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, Snapcrackle. Sabbatha said she was she was 16 when pregnant. Seems like more in the family or friends. Although, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, Betty C, I agree. I fully agree with you. It is very hard to know what is the truth and what is a lie, because it felt like, especially even to her best friends and people she loved, she lied about even the simplest of details, not even stuff related to Evelyn, just simple things. She lied about everything. I don't think she's ever told the truth about anything. I think if you asked her what time it is and you had a watch, she would tell you a different time just because she doesn't know any different but to lie to you. If you knew it was 2 o'clock, she would tell you it was 12:30. I swear. She just a pathological liar. Not about Evelyn, about everything. She's a broken person. Yeah, I know, which I know she was with Ethan in high school. Ethan testified that they dated for high school, but you saw his look on his face, right? When they kept asking about a relationship, he sort of grimaced. Did you notice that, Betty C, and anyone else? He sort of grimaced every time they brought up relationship. He sort of went. He was sort of like. He didn't seem like that, like he wasn't like, oh, she was my childhood sweetheart. We dated in high school. We loved each other. No, it wasn't like that. It was more like he was like, relationship? I don't know. He was very like, not non-committal. Yeah, yes, that according to him, they dated for a period of time. That's what he said. Probably trying to distance himself. Did you catch that though? I caught it when he was on the stand. He kept grimacing, but the one thing I could tell from his body language he hated was when they brought up the paternity. He started grinding his teeth. I don't know if anyone else again noticed this, but he clenched his jaw and started grinding his teeth. Every time they brought up paternity of Evelyn, you could tell he was so angry about it. And I get you would be too if you were led to believe that you had a baby daughter, and she went through this. You've gone through this thing, and she was killed. Now you're freaking sitting in a freaking courtroom in a murder trial. I get it. I get it, and that he found out he said he had suspicions, but he found out very late that he really wasn't the father. But yeah, poor guy. I feel very sorry for Ethan. Yeah, they fought all the time. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I feel very sorry for Ethan. I think I think when he found out she was pregnant, he felt some loyalty to her to try and at least be a stand-up guy and at least stand by her for a period of time. Like he said, he sent little bits of money here and there, not tons of money, like stuff, money for diapers, that type of thing, like $50 here, $100 there. Wasn't a big amount of money, like $1,000. He said it was like $100 or $50. But yeah. He got absolutely smoked when they found out that they thought that when she reported that the baby was with him, they literally tore apart his cabin, like his room or whatever they were staying in the hotel or whatever. They tore it apart, not just check things. They tore it apart, tested things, took samples, tore apart his bed, his bedding, like destroyed his car, and they dug up half of the freaking area outside, thinking that he'd buried his child on the base. Not only did he have to witness that, so did everyone else he worked with. I'm not surprised. I don't think he's in the army anymore, right? He left. I'm not surprised he's not in the military anymore. If he did, I'm pretty sure I read he left the military now. I'm not surprised. Could you ever go back to that? If that happened to you at your workplace, where in the military, it's a very camaraderie thing, like hoorah, and you all pull together, and it's all one thing. And could you ever go back to being a part of that unit after that? I would struggle. I think we all would. And he didn't even have anything to do with it. I mean, that would be really hard. And no wonder he has negative connotations about that period. Yes, that's right. He's at the barracks. That's right. Sorry, I keep forgetting the words. Whether he was at the hotel, he was on a base. Like, he moved around a lot. He was on that mission he was talking about at trial to protect the border. Barracks in Louisiana, not Texas. I know he was at Texas at one point. Yeah, I don't know how you go back to that. I'm not sure. Unless you got moved to a completely different, like, part of the army or something where no one knows you. Yeah, he got out. I thought he did. I thought I remember reading that in the notes that he's not in the military anymore, which I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. It probably ruined his military career. Probably ruined it. I don't know how you ever go back. Everyone's going to point you out every time and be like, that's the guy. That's Evelyn's dad. Oh, sorry, not real dad. That's her fake dad. That's the guy that had his barracks turned upside down. That's him. Like, every time you go anywhere, that's exactly what's going to happen. Although there are a lot of nice people in the military, a lot of people that treat it like a family, and they would have stood by Ethan. I know that too. But just rumors happen, rumors happen, speculation happens. When you keep people close together like that, it's natural. It's not much you can do about it. Poor guy. I don't know what he's going to do with his life now, but I hope he finds a way to rebuild it and maybe have another little girl. That would be a nice bit of cosmic justice, right? You could have another baby with a different nice woman. That would be nice. I'd like to hear that story. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about the trial. The trial was it was a lot. All right, we've done that. We've done that. That was Megan Boswell. We did that. Okay, here. All right. By the way, keep looking for that girl in Colorado. If you hear anything, let me know. Here we go. Police, drugs, nearly $9,000 in cash recovered from a Kingsport hotel room. Do you know how I found out about this? I was reading a Megan Boswell article and I saw this and I was like, that's very interesting. I want to know more about this. Because I was like, how did this girl end up getting arrested in a hotel room raid for narcotics? They're saying a Kingsport police recovered narcotics and thousands of dollars in cash after arresting 2 people outside of their hotel room. According to a release from the police department, detectives in KPD's Vice and Narcotics Unit entered Malik Antonio Dunn and Alicia Kristen Pritchard. They encountered Malik and Alicia in the parking lot of the Hampton Inn in the 2000 block of Enterprise Place on Monday, August 24. 24? What date are we in? We're in February. That was like 6 months ago. What are they talking about? They say Dunn, 23, of Atlanta, Georgia, was known to have outstanding warrants for driving on a suspended license and was taken into custody by detectives. The release says Pritchard, 19, of Georgia, was seen dropping a baggie of green plant material believed to be marijuana on the ground when she saw detectives approaching. Why do they do this anymore? It's so stupid. You can literally walk down the road and walk into a store and buy it. It's crazy to me that we're still arresting people for marijuana. Like, come on. Isn't that the whole reason we made it legal? Was so that we stopped arresting people for petty amounts like this? So they did her with possession / casual exchange of a Schedule 4 drug. Schedule 4? No, Schedule 6. Schedule 6. They say KPD reports Pritchard was released on a misdemeanor citation and is scheduled for arraignment on Tuesday, September 1st, 2025. But when Dunn was arrested, 2 baggies of crystalline substance believed to be methamphetamine was allegedly found concealed on his person. Bro has been doing the crystal. Bro has been smoking that pipe. He has. They say KPD reports that an investigation revealed Dunn had rented a room at the Hampton Inn under his name. He's very clever. And a search warrant was obtained and executed. A search revealed another baggie of the same crystalline substance, assorted pills believed to be alprazolam. That's like a downer. It's an muscle relaxant. Is that what it is? It's a downer, I know that. Oh, it's an anxiety medication. Oh, it's Xanax. Oh, it's Xanax. Why do they use the chemical name? Bloody cops, man. Just use the street name. Multiple unlawful drug equipment items. Don't want to have them. Don't be having any unlawful drug equipment items. Got to be careful. Make sure you hide them. Otherwise, the police will get you for unlawful drug equipment. What is a lawful drug equipment item? How do you find those? Is there a store? Is that a chemist? If you go to a chemist, do they sell lawful drug equipment items? You have to let me know. Almost $9,000 in cash that is believed to be the proceeds from illegal drug activity. Probably from all that crystalline stuff he had. In addition to his warrants for driving on a suspended license, Dunn was charged with the following: sale or delivery of over 300 grams of Schedule 2 drug, methamphetamine. Maintaining a dwelling where controlled substances are used or stored. Okay. And simple possession / casual exchange of a Schedule 4 drug, which is the Xanax, and possession of unlawful drug equipment. I like to keep all my drug equipment lawful. I don't like those ones that get you in trouble. I have all the ones that are very lawful. I buy them from the Lawful Drug Equipment Supply Co. There's one in every town. Dunn remains in Sullivan County Jail as of August 31st with no eligibility for bond. He is scheduled to be arraigned in court on September 1, same day as the other girl, Alicia. KPD reports that Sullivan County Sheriff's Office Vice and Narcotics Unit and the Tennessee TBI are assisting with that operation. Well, keep your crystalline substances at home along with your unlawful drug equipment. Keep that at your home too, not at a hotel room. If you do that, they might not be able to get you. And then Alicia Christian Pritchard. What were you doing outside of Georgia, my friend? Why were you in Tennessee? I don't know. Don't know why she was down there. Why were you down there, girl? Tennessee again, right? Lawful by prescription, perhaps. They got weird naming for stuff. We had one last year that was called something like, it was in Tennessee as well, and it was something called, I can't remember the wording, but it was something weird. Like it meant like you didn't have a prescription for a medication. It was like, it was a weird name. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that meant that you basically did not have the proper prescription for a medication like Xanax, and they would do you with it. It was some weird freaking long name that you get charged with. It was like, oh, you have a counterfeit making device of lawful intentions or something. It was like something weird like that. And then we looked it up, and it was basically that you had prescription drugs on you but didn't have the prescription for it or in your name. Very, very odd. Marjorie says, yeah, I want to see what that is. What is that? Let's see if we can find it. Where is it? All right, here. What does it mean? Does that mean he had a pipe? Does that mean he had a drug pipe or possession of an item or equipment? Okay. Oh, okay. It just means he had drug paraphernalia. So in every other county, it would be called, yeah, being caught with drug power, like a pipe or something like that. It says here, unlawful possession of drug. No, that's not what we want. We want drug equipment. No. We want this one. Yeah, it's part of the Tennessee Code. No, see, it says paraphernalia. Why is it doing that? It must be something like that because it keeps coming up with paraphernalia. Yeah, it must be just that. He probably had a pipe. Might have had like scales and baggies and things like that. Because it doesn't say that here. Unlawful drug equipment. Maybe they meant drug paraphernalia, and they just spelt it wrong. Because like that's normally what you get done with paraphernalia. Needles? Maybe. Well, normally methamphetamine, you smoke it, right, or something. Don't you normally put it in a pipey thing or something? What do you do with it? You put it in like a tube? Is that the same as the crack one? I don't know. Don't ask Ping. Ping doesn't know. I'm not sure. You guys will have to tell me how many of you out there are smoking right now. No, I'm just kidding. Although it is Saturday morning. Maybe you're still partying from the night before. Maybe you are. You're like, what is this guy talking about on YouTube? Let me see if I have any other stories for us to talk about tonight. Oh, actually, I do have this interesting one if you guys want to hear it. We got two. We could do the one about the Black Hawk helicopter. Oh, that's interesting too. Okay, we have a couple. Give me a second. I'm going to load them up. Did we go for silent again? Why did that happen? Yeah, no. You've all gone deaf. You've all gone deaf. You all need to turn your hearing aids up. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Did it die again? We may need to get a new microphone in the future. This one has been playing up on and off for a few months now. Every now and then it stops working and it just mutes me out for like no reason. Odd. Sorry about that. Wow, now we have to do this all over again. I have to talk more. All right. Freaking hell, Ping. I'm going to have to edit this out later. I'm going to have to go into the YouTube editor and edit it. But basically what I was saying is that Luigi, the guy who killed the healthcare CEO, he has been receiving so many love letters from people in prison that they had to open up a website for him, a whole website, so that he can get his letters in prison. Apparently, his letters have to go to his legal team or the prison, but he never gets the original letter. They open them up and then they have to scan them, sort of photocopy them. And they were saying to people, don't write too close to the edge of the page because they're photocopied and oftentimes things get cut off the letter. So they're saying kind of write a little bit over so when they're photocopied, you get all the details. Not only that, but he has raised more than $250,000 in donations from more than 10,000 people supporting his legal defense. And yeah, then he wrote a thing here, his message, saying, I'm overwhelmed by and grateful for everyone who has written to share their stories and express their support. Powerfully, this support has transcended political, racial, and even class divisions. As mail has flooded MDC from across the country and around the globe, while it is impossible for me to reply to most letters, please know that I read every one that I receive. Thank you again to everyone who took the time to write. I look forward to hearing more in the future, Luigi. So he has definitely got some fans across the country. A lot of people willing to put up their money to make sure that he gets a good legal defense. And yeah, he's getting so many letters. They had to make his own website that has a bunch of different information on it about his case, when his next case is due. They have a bunch of information on there. Let me see if I can look it up. He has his, yeah, is this it? Yeah, he has his own website. Here it is. So you can go to like case updates here and it tells him when he's going to be in court. See, it says litigation calendar. 21st of February, he's going to be in New York State Court at 100 Center Place, Part 23, New York, New York. And then on Monday, the 24th, after the weekend, he's going to be in the Pennsylvania State Court. And then on the Wednesday, on the 19th of March, he's going to be in New York Federal Court in New York. And he goes everywhere. This dude has to go to 3 different courts, including New York State, PA State, and NY Federal. He's got a million different cases. Look, federal case updates. You can see his docket here. He's got a docket here on Court Listener. He's got a bunch of different documents that have been uploaded onto that. He's got State of New York. So his legal team's been keeping everyone informed. Oh, apparently I can't access the one from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I have now discovered, are racist. They are racist against Australians. They are. They do not like Australian internet. Look, I'll show you. They are racist. Look. I cannot believe this. I thought of Pennsylvania people as good people. And now I find out that their government are very racist against Australians. It's very insulting. Very insulting. He's good looking? Okay. I saw those podcasters called Party Girls. What? What the fuck? That's so weird. It's like that guy. I mean, this one makes more sense Then that other guy, what's that stupid guy in Florida with the dumb tattoo and the no teeth? No. Like what? Someone's going to come up with a joke name, but it's not. It's not. I don't want to say that name. It's that guy. That guy is stupid. What's his something Wade, whatever his name is. He has those girls that do stuff for him too. This one I sort of understand. He is sort of like a Robin Hood. He wanted to take down the health industry. Fuck was that? We got a ghost. Mrs. Ping is convinced that we have a ghost. Things have been moving in my apartment here. Things have been moving on their own. We have a ghost. Like the other day, this thing just fell off the wall. It just fell. Remember that thing that was over there and it just fell out of nowhere? That was weird. It just moved on its own. It wasn't the cats. They were asleep. We were sitting down and this thing just fell out of nowhere. Like a micro earthquake. Wade. I think it's Wade. I don't know who the hell the party girls are. They sound like they like to party. Well, look, hey, I hope he gets a good legal defense. I understand why he did what he did. And I think, I don't approve of what he did, but I understand why he did it. I understand what it's like to be so frustrated at the healthcare system. And I know it would be even more frustrating in America. So, sounds like Trisha. I swear to God, Trish has given me her ghosts. She has. Before I joined Web Sleuths, I never had any paranormal activity. Since I met Trisha and worked with her, there has been weird stuff happening in the house. I swear to God. It's Trish. She is possessed by spirits. She has a lot of different ghosts and paranormal entities, and now she's somehow transported them through email to me. It's what happened. I am concerned. I'm not alarmed, but I am concerned. It is woo-woo, and it is woo-woo Saturday night. No, we don't do paranormal here. But yeah, that was weird. Something just fell in another room. Like I was sitting here, she's over there, and I hear this like bang in the other room, and something fell. And I'm like, there's no one else here. Like we're all out here. There's no one at the back of the place. That was very odd. We may have a ghost. But yeah, I don't know who the party girls are. But yeah, there's that one, and then this will be the last one. It's 1:30 in the morning here in Australia. Wait, that's not it. Where's my other story? Okay. Here. Teen Cybertruck driver had back twice legal limit cocaine in his system at the time of the fatal crash that killed two of his friends. They say Soren Dixon, Jack Nelson, and Krista Tuskahara, 19, all died in a wreck on November 27th while heading home from a party near their Piedmont homes. Another passenger, Jordan Miller, 20, survived the crash but had serious burns. They say an autopsy and toxicology reports reveal that Dixon, the driver of the Tesla truck, had a BAC of 0.195%, more than twice the legal limit for drivers of 0.8%. They're saying here, Dixon, who attended the University of Southern California, or USC, where he played lacrosse, also had cocaine in his system at the time of the fatal accident. According to documents, here's a photo of all three of them here. This is Soren here. This is Krista and Jack Nelson here. They're saying the three victims and one survivor all attended Piedmont High School and were back home from college for the Thanksgiving break. While returning home from a party at 3 a.m. on Thanksgiving, the Cybertruck jumped a curb and slammed directly into a tree and then a retaining wall and burst into flames. When first responders arrived on the scene, The flames were twice as high as the car itself. They say California Highway Patrol initially seized the Cybertruck and planned on testing it for mechanical malfunctions. The electric SUV was fully burned as a result of the accident. All right, let's see if we can find anything else about this crash. Let me see if I can find something for you. That is a high back limit, a really high 1.195. Yeah, let's go to... I want to take you back to when it happened, because I don't remember when this happened. I don't remember the news stories when it happened.
Lining Piedmont Park Friday, lights on to honor the lives of 3 City High School graduates killed in a crash on Thanksgiving Eve.
Wonderful kids. They brought such a good, positive impact to the community.
The group had just left an event around 3 in the morning on Wednesday when the Tesla Cybertruck they were in veered off the road at Hampton and King Avenue, slamming into a tree and bursting into flames. KTVU has learned the 3 victims were Krista Sukahara, Soren Dixon, and Jack Nelson. Their pictures now covering the tree. Brian Kane's son, a classmate.
He says they were some of the nicest souls that he'd ever met.
All 2023 graduates of Piedmont High School.
Oh, these are kind of kids that went to Mexico and built homes year after year, and they were stars in the lacrosse team.
A 4th person, Jordan Miller, survived after being pulled from the wreck by a friend and remains in the hospital. Thursday morning, Piedmont's Mayor Jen Kavanaugh speaking ahead of the start of Piedmont's annual turkey trot.
I went to bed last night thinking the words might come today for what to say. It turned out there are no words that will bring these kids back to us, that'll make this all okay.
The normally festive event going on as planned, but filled with tears and hugs. Friday, a community still struggling to find the words to express their grief.
And then we find out today that the driver of the vehicle was severely over the limit for alcohol. In Australia, it's 0.05. In this place in California, it's 0.08, so even more higher than what Australians' limit is. And he was more than twice that. He would be considered almost 4 times the legal limit in Australia. And that means he's well and truly drunk. Like, you can have 2 drinks and then 1 per hour to keep under the legal limit in Australia. I'm guessing in America, it's 2 drinks per hour and 2 drinks per hour after that to keep you under the legal limit. To be over that legal limit times 4, you'd be drinking freaking alcohol all night, like just alcohol after alcohol, like a lot of beers or a lot of spirits or something. It'd be you'd have to drink a lot to get that drunk. Sabatha says, these trucks are dangerous on their own. The glare is so bad when you see them on the road. Yeah, they sort of need to fix that problem with them and try and make them easier to see out of. I've heard that when you're driving them, the back of it, you can't see out the back. So you don't really have a back window to look out of either, which is a pain in the butt. But they do have a screen that you can see behind you. You just can't look in a rear view mirror to see out the back. So 100K and it's not safe. Well, there's been a lot of people. We read one the other year. It wasn't about a Cybertruck, but was about a person that was killed in a Tesla that it was on autopilot and ended up killing someone really in a real horrific way. I can't remember what exactly happened, but it was really bad. It was a pretty horrific scene. All right. That was your morning show. I caught up with a bunch of different stories that we weren't able to do over the week. Wasn't able to do them because of the trial. So we'll be able to catch up on bits and pieces and give you a very a bonus morning show. So waking up on this Saturday morning. Hey, good to see you. Waking up on this Saturday morning. It's my second show in probably 6 hours or so. But I will see you tomorrow today. I'll see you later today in the nighttime at 10:30 Eastern. at 10:30 Eastern. I'll be back. We're going to do another show, and we're actually getting closer to our Saturday nights being a Cold Justice. So Cold Justice is returning, I think, in late March. That's what I've heard. Late March, we should get a new season of Cold Justice. So that'll be on Saturday nights on Oxygen. And as soon as that airs, I tend to do a show straight after, and we delve deeper into the case that was shown on Oxygen. I try and dig up court records. We look at crime scene. We look at whatever they left out of the TV show. And we try and give you a sort of bonus to watching the episode on Oxygen. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming up in a few weeks. And we're gearing up to head out to court in April. Me and her have been doing a lot of planning, how we're getting out there, and I'm going to be there, and she's going to come home, and this and that. So we've been doing a lot of logistic work for this court case in April, because I'm going to be away from home for about 2 weeks while we do the Erin Patterson trial. So it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of logistics and stuff like that. So I think at least for a couple of days, she's going to come out with me to trial, and she'll be sitting in on court with me. So I think that's true, isn't it? Cookie, you're going to come to court for at least one day? Yeah. You're going to come for at least one day to court? Yeah. She wants to come up and she wants to go to court as well. So she's going to come to court and see Erin Patterson. So for at least a couple of days, you'll have both of us. We'll have to see what her reporting is. We're going to put you on the stand, Cookie. We're going to turn you into a true crime reporter. You reckon you can talk for 2 hours about true crime? A script? I have no script. I do my articles and I set up my videos, but there is no script as such for this show. I just talk. There is no script of what I'm going to say. I script the videos and the articles, but not my what I say. Can you do that? Do you want to do that? You don't know? Not for 2 hours? I guess I have always been the one that talks too much, so she's very quiet. She's very quiet. Although you do talk a lot at work. Well, I don't know. I just assuming you do. You just don't talk to anyone. You just definitely no script. No, we don't do scripts here. No scripts here. Sabbath, yeah, you guys remember we went on holidays. You saw what happened when she gets near a microphone. So, especially if we've had a couple of drinks. You guys remember that? We got a little tipsy and started a live show in the hotel room. We were a little drunk from the wedding, and we did a live show at like 1 a.m. in the morning. That was interesting. I left it up. I didn't delete it. I don't dirty delete anything. Sabbather says, yes, one Tesla reversed into a pond or something on a property, drowning that person because the door did not open. Brutal. I'll never own an electric car. I think they are just as bad as petrol. I think that when you make the batteries and all that, you're using a lot of these resources until they fix that problem. I think it's much of a muchness because it costs money to build that. You need electricity to build that. The batteries and the rare earth that goes into the different parts of the batteries and the stuff like that. I think it's not quite there yet. I think eventually it will be, and we'll have more charging stations, and there'll be a better way of doing the powering of the electric motor. And when they have that, I think it'll be a lot better. But right now, there's just a lot of problems with it. Although some people drive them, they like them, so that's good for them. Yeah, I didn't know that one about this one was on a highway in Arizona, and something happened. Like the person was on autopilot and they just plowed through someone. Like someone was crossing a road and they just went straight through them. The autopilot didn't kick off and then stop when there was an object, and it just plowed through them. and killed them. Like really traumatic. It was really, really bad. Yeah, it was a bad one. All right. I love you all. It's 1:30 in the morning. If I don't get some sleep soon, you guys are not getting a 10:30 show, 10:30 Eastern, because I won't wake up. Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. in the morning. So peace out. Let me know in the comments, do you like these morning shows? Should we only do morning shows from now on and do no nighttime shows? Let me know. I might do it. I might do it, depending on your comments. All right, peace out. Love you all. Good night. Oh, not good night. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so used to saying good night. It is nighttime here, though, but good morning to all of you. Have a great Saturday. I'll see you tonight for another live show on Nights with Ping. Subscribe down there, hit that like button, and I'll see you later. Bye.